These 21 low cap cryptos are going to make you stinking rich in the next few months. By the time we move from Bitcoin season to altcoin season, many of the cryptos that we're talking about under 500 million market cap in today's video would have already seen a 10, 20, 30 or 100x gain from here. So getting positioned early is crucial before we get to that altcoin season. That's why you guys need to pay close attention to today's video. There is going to be no paid promotion in today's video, just purely my own research and the cryptos that I'm buying, preparing myself for the bull run right now. I know you guys have short attention spans. You probably have 47 other tabs open right now of half-watched YouTube videos, Michelle Obama's podcast, vegan recipes for your wife's boyfriend, and OnlyFans tabs. So let's waste no time and jump straight into the video. We will be covering cryptos, as mentioned, from a 500 million market cap down to almost a 3 million, covering sectors from AI, RWA, DePIN, and gaming, and much, much more. Make sure you join us in my free Discord community, guys. Come and hang out, trade some crypto with us. So slap a like on the video, guys, and let's go make some money. So as mentioned, guys, we don't have much time until we see Bitcoin slide into altcoin season. Once that slider hits the blue, you guys need to be prepared, because by the time that's already happened, most of the cryptos in today's video would have already seen a 10, 20, 50 or 100x gain. So as mentioned, we're going to start from the higher cap, closer to 500 million, all the way down to those dirty tiny cryptos at just under a 5 million market cap. So stay patient, guys, and let's do this. So the first crypto that we're covering is AIOZ, sat at a 500 million market cap, another of my personal favorites that I'm heavily dollar cost averaging into at the moment. You guys can see that it's up in the last month around 25%, and I think that is the perfect time right now to be accumulating cryptos. As you can see on the 7-day as well, it's had a nice pullback, but needless to say, decentralized physical infrastructure cryptos such as AIOZ, blending DePIN and AI, stand to be one of the best cryptos, performing in the best sectors. And we saw the actual CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang, or however you pronounce it, saying that he thinks DePIN is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry in the next few years as we see more global adoption for the blockchain industry as a whole, and these various different sectors that keep getting mentioned. And I think that AIOZ stands to be one of those leading cryptos in those narratives, and we could see an upwards of a 20 billion plus market cap for AIOZ. A more conservative target for AIOZ would be upwards of 5 billion, which would still be a comfortable 10x, but I think it can go a hell of a lot higher. And considering its market cap of 500 million, looking for a 10, 20, 30x might sound a little bit crazy, but I think that we're yet to see true liquidity and hype flow into altcoins, and that's why I keep going back to the chart where you can see we're clearly still in Bitcoin season. And once that slider moves from the orange into the blue, guys, you need to be prepared, because by the time that's happened, people who are positioning themselves now will be the ones reaping the rewards. The next crypto, which I think is quite frankly slept on and many people are glancing over just because it has the backing and is made by some big influencers like Alex Becker. And if you're watching this video, you're probably very familiar with Alex Becker, especially because I like to brand my videos very similar to his. But besides the point, I think Superverse is going to perform very well, and I think that we're going to see a revival of the metaverse and NFT narratives. And I know people don't want to hear that, but that's exactly why I'm more convinced that's going to happen, especially when we see Ethereum finally reach up to over $4,000 or $5,000. We're going to see a hell of a lot of liquidity flow back into the metaverse and NFT narrative. And from my experience in the last two crypto cycles that I've been in, when you start to see sectors actually fall off and people start to forget about them, it's usually those specific narratives that have the strongest revival because they've been counted out. That psychology tells me that alone we're going to see metaverse projects like Super perform very, very well. So I think that we're going to see Superverse hit upwards of a 5 billion market cap, so a comfortable 10x from here. Anything else above that, we'll have to wait and see what kind of adoption NFTs, the gaming narrative and the metaverse actually gets in the upcoming alt season, because it's hard to tell right now, but a comfortable 10x gain is very likely from here. So as we now move down market cap wise, we're getting lower and lower. 440 million. The next crypto is Move, known as Movement. Now, I'm extremely bullish. Why? Because the programming language Move was actually developed by Meta, aka Facebook and Instagram, and we're seeing as big players like Trump with his World Liberty Finance investing over $1 million into the actual Move token. And typically when we see big investors like this invest into narratives and also cryptos like this, we tend to see others actually follow. And this is very big news in my opinion for the token Move. And I think that because we're having solid backing by Meta and also the likes of Trump being invested into this, I think we can see this just based on that purely alone at least hit a few billion market cap. And then once the thing actually gets traction for its use case as a layer 2 blockchain, I think we're going to see this blast off to upwards of 10 billion, which would be over a 20x gain from here. And right now we see mostly Solidity as the main blockchain programming language in the crypto and blockchain space for dApps and also applications on the blockchain. They're mostly using Solidity, and that's what the developers and coders are actually learning or have been for the previous few years. But I think we're going to see a move, if you excuse the pun, and I think that might even be why it's potentially called Move as well, a move from Solidity over to the Move programming language, because it allows developers to actually build their apps on the blockchain that can function a hell of a lot quicker and more efficient. So in my eyes, that's a no-brainer, especially now it's being backed by Facebook, Meta, Instagram. Some big players and investors are getting involved. I see absolutely no reason why we can't see this crypto absolutely gain some crazy traction and momentum as we transition into alt season. So the next crypto that I'm adding into my portfolio, guys, and this is a big one, in my opinion, one of the top picks of this whole video is ZBCN. Slightly slept on as well, and I've done my best in this video to bring you genuine high utility cryptos that people kind of don't know about right now. I've done my best to do enough research to find the slept on cryptos for you guys. So if you like this and you want more content and you want to see what I'm researching into, turn that notification bell on after subscribing and liking the video so you don't miss any narratives or cryptos before they blast off and you guys can get in nice and early. So ZBCN network actually has some nice real world asset integration into payroll and also payment processing in general. We're seeing some huge players such as Ripple and also Chainlink investing into this technology. They are investors into ZBCN, and I would hazard a guess that's exactly why we're seeing this thing blast off in the last month. You can see that it's up from 13 cents to 50 cents. So please guys, maybe look for a pullback. Don't just buy your intended position in one go, because we could see the market pull back here. Be sensible. When you see a crypto that's up from 10 cents to 50 cents in the last few days, I mean, look, it's literally in the last week. For the most part, it's sensible to wait for a pullback. If you want to obviously accumulate some now, you can do that through dollar cost averaging. If you have, say, $5,000 to invest, just buy a couple $100 every week or two. That's the sensible approach when a crypto is blasting off like this. But guys, I think that this is very slept on, and I would encourage you to do more research. As I'm flying through these cryptos, I would love to spend a lot of the video talking about ZBCN because of how bullish I am, but you guys, of course, go away and do your own due diligence based on what I've just told you, form your own opinion and build your own conviction, because conviction goes very far in crypto, folks. So with 360 million market cap, 140 million 24-hour volume, my predictions are, again, comfortable 10x gain from here. But I think that we're likely going to see a hell of a lot more. So we could see upwards of 15+ billion, or even, depending on how much adoption this gets with its real world asset integration into payment solutions, I think, and also payroll for these big companies, guys, I think that we could even see higher, 20, 30, 50+ billion. I'm not too sure, purely speculation, but a comfortable 10x from here is to be expected in my opinion, not financial advice. So next up on the list is AI16Z, sat at a 334 million market cap. This is one of the biggest AI agent plays right now, and it is essentially a venture capitalist firm that's been made by AI agents. And this is a very interesting one. I think this could definitely gain some incredible traction as we transition into alt season. And we see again the likes of Jensen Huang, the Nvidia CEO, has been talking about the fact that he thinks AI agents could become a multi-trillion-dollar industry in the next few years. And if we see cryptos like this continue to run and get adoption and more actual mainstream attention, this thing, AI16Z, can go upwards of a 10, 20, 30, 50x from its current market price. And good news for you guys as well, it's had a nice pullback from its highs of $2.30. We are now currently sat around 30 cents. So that's quite a significant drop since the euphoria that we saw when Bitcoin was previously testing its current range of 110k back in December and January last year. Crazy how different things are now, considering Bitcoin is now the same price. We're seeing a nice discount on these altcoins in comparison to what they were priced at when Bitcoin was last where it is right now. AI16Z does operate on the Solana blockchain, so if you guys are bullish on Sol, which you should be in my opinion, I think that this is another reason to be buying into AI16Z and a good way to diversify your portfolio into the AI agent narrative. So the next crypto going into my portfolio that I'm buying is Keeta, KTA. As you can see, 320 million market cap, so the same roughly as the last two cryptos that we took a look at, and I think this can get some real amazing traction in the next year. Why? Well, Keeta stands to be what connects real financial and economic companies out in the real world with the blockchain, and it has the fastest processing time for payment processing pretty much of any crypto that I've seen, and also has built-in KYC and anti-money laundering checking systems that can be really integrated into real-world finance companies to allow them to operate on the blockchain more efficiently. Keeta was founded in 2022 and backed by Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google. And I keep looking to these big companies like Nvidia, like Google, to see what they're talking about and what the narratives are, and also Meta as well. We're seeing a lot of these big tech giants from the stock market getting involved into crypto, and it's usually a sign to me of cryptos that are going to perform extremely well. So if you're looking for a crypto that nails the institutional adoption for the blockchain, that narrative, obviously, it can be very strong for the long term. And when I say long term, I mean the next 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years. And if you're thinking on that long of a time frame, this is a crypto, in my opinion, that is a no-brainer. For me personally, my bag that I've been accumulating, I'll be looking to hold for the next decade or so. And yes, it is up a hell of a lot in the last week. So please, guys, be sensible. Don't be buying like crazy right now. Wait for a pullback, please. You can bet your bottom dollar this is going to have some form of a pullback, so just be patient. And obviously you don't want to be left out completely, so to avoid that, you can dollar cost average. As I keep going back to and mentioning, if you have $5,000, just be buying a couple $100 every week or two to scratch that itch that you have a bag. But when you see tokens that are up from 12 cents to 80 cents in the matter of 1 to 2 weeks, you need to be cautious, because these cryptos can pull back 50% in the matter of 2 or 3 days, and you could be left with half of your bag of tokens from your hard-earned money. So please diversify, only invest what you can afford to lose, and wait for a pullback when you see these cryptos actually pumping like crazy. The next crypto going into my portfolio is LayerZero, ZRO. We're just about going to get under a 300 million market cap now for these cryptos, and LayerZero works interoperably, which is quite a funny word that we see in crypto all the time, but it works with all the different blockchain chains, and it actually allows them to become more efficient in terms of privacy and trust, to allow messages to flow between chains, whilst also solidifying and enabling the fact that the privacy is such an important feature when it goes across different chains for certain information. If this falls apart, then we're going to see a hell of a lot of problems in crypto, and that's always a solution that is needed between different chains. Think of Ethereum interacting with BNB, or We're seeing a lot of different chains pop up now for various different reasons. Information has to be transferred securely across these different blockchains, and that's what LayerZero aims to do. Consider it an addition on top of every blockchain that is needed to function properly. I think that LayerZero can reach upwards of a 3 billion market cap in the next coming months, and we could also see this gain some really big traction depending on how important it actually becomes in terms of adoption for these different blockchains. We could see this upwards of a 5 or 10 billion plus market cap. The next crypto that I've been buying is SAROS, currently at a 233 million market cap. Now this thing has been absolutely sending in the last week, so again, make sure you wait for a pullback, but I think this can get even more traction, and we're seeing SAROS gain some huge momentum on social media. A lot of people are talking about this right now, which is backed up by its insane price action over the last month. You can see from its lows of around 12 cents upwards to 20 cents, so it's pretty much done a 2x in the last couple of weeks. So make sure you guys be sensible and wait for a pullback, but I think this can go a hell of a lot higher. Now, what is SAROS? It's hard to basically articulate in a short period of time, but it's a one-stop shop for all things blockchain, built to integrate with Solana. Previously a decentralized exchange, now branching out to be more of a all-in-one solution for people that want to actually use the blockchain. You guys can see here SAROS, the ultimate app designed to redefine your Web3 experience on Solana. It's being dubbed as a super app, and it allows you to mint NFTs using AI, which we've never really properly seen before. All-in-one simplicity, elevate your daily financial routine with ultimate tools of convenience, wallet, exchange, payments, all simplified. We did see OpenSea was the leader for NFTs before, and I think that now, once we see NFTs revive, which will be purely based on Ethereum crossing above $4,000 in my opinion, we're going to see SAROS be the alternative to OpenSea that we saw previously in the last cycle. So again, if you're bullish on Solana, which you should be, SAROS is a very good way to diversify into the potential of NFTs once Ethereum has a revival, which I think is being slept on as a narrative. Too many people are focusing on AI in meme coins, and they're forgetting that once Ethereum goes above a certain point, there's going to be a lot of liquidity and a lot of mini cycles pop back up where it's to do with metaverse, NFTs, and much more, guys. So don't lose sight of that potential. The next crypto that has some insane potential is Chintai, or CHEX. It's currently at a $233 million market cap. Chintai allows for real-world assets to tokenize actual physical assets on the blockchain, which is something that we're going to see a pivot towards in this next cycle. I'm absolutely 100% sure that there is going to be many cryptos that are going to try and nail this, where you can actually have your physical assets in real life tokenized onto the blockchain, whether it's things like art, cars, real estate, companies, maybe even tech in general, much more that we're going to see. We're going to see many of these things tokenized and allowed to be purchased individually on the blockchain. If I load up their website, you can see leading business into regulated digital assets frontier. So we're going to need a heavily regulated option for these big companies with a lot of assets to move and tokenize onto the blockchain eventually. And that's why we need to find a platform that plays into this regulation. Now, I know as a crypto folk, if you're a die-hard crypto guy like me, the term regulation kind of gives you a bit of the ick, but unfortunately for these types of cryptos, we absolutely need someone like Chintai to come in and do things properly. You can see they're dubbing themselves as a customized solution for every enterprise, an all-in-one solution for business to harness the power of RWA assets. Jumpstart your idea with blockchain technology, tokenize and help scale your business globally, SMEs, and also for financial institutions. So they're tapping into entrepreneurs, actual companies, and financial institutions, a platform to choose for real-world asset tokenization. We've already seen the likes of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock investing into RWA tokenization platforms and cryptos. So that goes to show you that it's being taken extremely seriously, guys. And I think that Chintai is a no-brainer, and that's why I've been accumulating it recently. Next up is Destra Network, also known as DSYNC, currently 150 million market cap. So we are working our way down into the lower cap cryptos, and as we do this, of course, the risk increases of these cryptos doing something like Luna, where it rug pulls and leaves leaves everyone with absolutely nothing. So it's important that you guys, of course, do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice, and you can and most likely could lose all of your money investing into cryptos like this. But as with anything, risk comes with reward, and that's why we look to these lower cap cryptos. And DSYNC is a decentralized infrastructure protocol that allows for adoption in the real world, and we're going to see for these institutions out in the real world, all of these big companies are going to need the correct infrastructure to be able to scale on the blockchain, and that's exactly what DSYNC allows all of these big companies to do. And think of the actual market cap and liquidity that this thing could generate if it gains some big traction. I think that DSYNC is very undervalued, and we could see upwards of $1 billion in the coming months, and that's why it's been going into my portfolio. In the last couple of months, you can see back from January and December, it's had a nice pullback from the highs where it revisited a few times, made similar to a triple top there around 40 cents, now back down to its current market price of 20 cents. In the last month, it's not up a hell of a lot either. So I think that this is positioned very, very well to jump a 2-3x in the next few weeks, and then upwards of $1 billion market cap in the coming months, guys. So make sure you pay attention to crypto right now. I'm seeing a lot of good signs in the market of where many crypto and altcoins are heading in the short term. The next crypto that I've been accumulating is Subsquid SQD, currently 150 million market cap. In the last month, it's had a nice pump, and if we go out onto the high time frame, you can see it made lows of around 2 cents and is now up a 10x around 20 cents. So make sure you guys look for a pullback, but I think this is still heavily undervalued, and we're going to see cryptos like this. Yes, it might have done a 10x, guys, from its lows, but this thing is only just getting started, and Subsquid allows for data lake querying for AI and real world assets, and we see a very similar company on the stock market listed at 68 billion market cap doing the exact same thing. And then when we come back over onto Subsquid on the blockchain, it's a hell of a lot lower market cap, guys. So make sure you understand the potential of cryptos like this and where they're heading, playing into the AI and real world asset narrative, especially when they basically have a cousin on the stock market doing the same thing, valued at 60 billion. I see no reason why Subsquid can't at least take up 20% of that target, maybe even a hell of a lot more, depending on how much adoption it actually gets. The next crypto has been flying under the radar of many of you, and I've not seen many people talk about this, which is surprising to me, and that is TARS AI. Currently $120 million market cap, TARS AI currently stands to be one of the most advanced AI solutions on Solana, and I think that this can easily get to $1 billion market cap in the next couple of months, upwards of maybe even a 5 billion, depending again on how much adoption we see. I can't imagine it's going to go any much lower as we finally get into alt season and we see some of these market caps of the blue chips absolutely go crazy. A lot of that liquidity will trickle down into similar plays within the same sector. So when we see some of the AI giants actually take off and go crazy, we're likely going to see that ripple effect come down into the lower caps for the same sectors. So TARS AI will likely get taken up to a crazy market cap based on the actual utility. They have a very nice website, as you can see, the AI architecture protocol on Solana, symbiotic AI app ecosystem dedicated to 1 million plus Solana users. It allows anyone that's using the Solana blockchain to actually have cloud computing solutions at 90% less than what we see with the likes of Google Cloud, etc. We keep seeing this time and time again at the moment, things being granted as a super app. Basically, they're trying to use AI to the best of its advantage to make the actual user experience a lot more seamless and interactive. And that's where we're going to move towards in the next few months and years as we see more adoption on the blockchain. A lot of the user interface experience is going to be powered by AI. So if you believe in Solana and you believe in the adoption of Solana, which I keep saying you should do, something like TARS AI, using AI to actually make that experience on Solana a hell of a lot easier and more consumer friendly, these sort of cryptos are going to do very, very well. Next up is Alchemist AI, $112 million market cap. Now, ALCH is another big play that I keep talking about. It essentially allows developers on the blockchain to improve and create dApps using AI. So think of this as like ChatGPT, but literally for developers on the blockchain. But it can also be used by everyday users to build simple actual games and things like that on the blockchain. There is a lot of code that can be developed by users as well, just simultaneously without having to have much experience. And I think that ALCH is quite a unique crypto. We're not seeing anything else quite pull it off like ALCH is, in my opinion, and that's why I think it can do very, very well. Upwards of, again, $1 billion plus market cap in the next few months from now, but we could see 10 billion plus for the likes of ALCH, which would stand to make it do extremely well. The next crypto I've been accumulating is AITECH. Now this is sat at a 90 million market cap, 80 million 24-hour volume, and AITECH uses machine learning and AI to make efficient versions of trading protocols. Now think of how big of an industry trading actually is, whether it's the stock market, whether it's Forex, whether you're trading crypto. We're going to see less human element over the coming period of the next few years, 10, 20, 30 plus years. Think about how much less people are going to rely on their own human cognition for trading and will look to AI. And AITECH stands to be one of the leading pioneers in revolutionizing how we actually trade, whether it's automated completely, whether there is elements of human as well, whether it's more geared towards safe trading and investing, or more risky scalping, what we see in the likes of Wall Street, etc. We could see AITECH stand to be a pioneer in that industry and pull off some crazy feats. It's had a nice pullback from its highs of 40 cents down to lows of literally not even 10 cents, down to the likes of 1 cent. So a huge pullback, and we're seeing a revival now in the last month or so. You can see that it is up from the lows of around 30 cents and it did a 2x. So I think that now is a good time to be accumulating based on how much has actually come down since its highs of around 40 cents. The next crypto is Particle Network, also known as PARTI, sat at a $60 million market cap. In the last month, you can see that it did a nice 2x and has since in the last week or so had a significant pullback of around 50%, which makes this a good time to start accumulating. Now, Particle Protocol or Network, allows you to actually have one account for all different chains on the blockchain, making the user experience for developers and also investors and traders like me and you a lot easier and more efficient. Based on what I'm seeing, I think that Particle Network has had some very good, strong backing and investors, and also a good setup as well. When I look at the chart, it seems to me like their tokenomics and everything else is falling into place very well. They're getting some good traction on social media, so that's why I've been adding into my portfolio, and I think that this is a comfortable 10x gain from here in the next couple of months. The next crypto I'm adding into my portfolio is PinLink, also known as PIN, currently at a $66 million market cap, and I think this stands to be one of the best performing cryptos in the next few months. You can see that it is down from around 3 cents from its highs of around Christmas of last year, and you can see that in the last month it's not really done a whole lot, with some nice sideways consolidation making for a good entry point at the moment. PinLink, the first RWA tokenized DePIN marketplace, driving down costs for AI developers and creating new revenue for asset owners, focusing on high performance computing and cloud storage, but also fractionalized ownership of assets, creating more flexible revenue streams for the asset owners. So we're seeing a nice mixture of DePIN, AI and RWA, three huge sectors that I think are going to perform extremely well in this cycle. The next crypto is Anyone Protocol, another favorite out of the whole list of cryptos at the moment. Anyone is definitely one of my favorites. $54 million market cap, very low volume, not too sure if that's actually correct or not, but Anyone Protocol is going to be very useful for developers to actually build and interact on the blockchain whilst keeping their privacy and data paramount. Unlike VPNs that we see right now, they are kind of a fake privacy. I'm sure you can all agree, even with a VPN or not, if someone wants to actually track you, they're probably going to be able to. But that's what we're seeing in the blockchain, is people are sick of this and they actually want true privacy, especially developers. And Anyone Protocol is a driving factor for true anonymity and privacy on the blockchain. For a $50 million market cap crypto, you can just see the potential here. Welcome welcome to the privacy economy. Very nice looking website with some good sponsorships and collaborations, connecting also with Arweave, using some of their technology, which is a huge crypto, a one-of-a-kind crypto high utility play, currently sat amongst the top 30 or 40 cryptos, and I think that's going to perform extremely well. You can see for anyone protocol, privacy that anyone can trust, unlike a VPN that anyone network can't track you. If we scroll down here, you can see it's playing into DeepIn, privacy as well. It's a plug and play solution for developers and for anyone that just wants to actually use the blockchain without being properly tracked. Make privacy the default setting. The Anyone SDK allows you to tunnel application network traffic through our decentralized privacy infrastructure, uncompromised privacy with no change to user experience. This looks like a hell of a good crypto, and I can't believe that it's still $50 million market cap. I imagine if you guys stumble across this video, and this is 2-3 months old, this video, it's already likely going to be too late for cryptos like this. You can see it's a layer 1 optimized for machines and DeepIn. The Anyone SDK provides for DeepIns and PEAQ, which I'm not too sure what that is, guys. You'll have to do some information, but it protects sensitive metadata by routing it through their privacy network. In addition, looking forward to Anyone relays being introduced into the Pico ecosystem, whatever that is. Let's have a click. PEAQ is a layer 1 blockchain for DeepIn and machine RWAs. It's expanded its ecosystem by integrating a tool, which I believe is to do with Arweave, into the privacy layer for DeepIn, building applications on their network. So you guys will have to do a deep dive into this, or perhaps in my upcoming videos I can go into this in greater detail, but needless to say, the utility does not match the actual market cap that we're seeing for this crypto, and I think that it stands to be one of the best performing low cap cryptos of this cycle. The next crypto is Neural AI. As you can see, Neural, $50 million market cap. Now this allows you to build 3D models based on text descriptions, which is huge for coders and developers on the blockchain. Think of gaming, think of the metaverse, think of actual augmented reality. If you can make code become 3D models, it makes things a hell of a lot easier. And if we load up their website again, you can see the actual website and the utility here does not match the market price. I think this is severely undervalued, and we could see this perform very well, especially when we see the blockchain gaming space absolutely take off. Cryptos like this are going to be at the forefront. The next crypto is OpenServ, also known as SERV, $44 million market cap. Now this plays into the AI agent narrative. It allows AI agents to interact across different protocols and networks seamlessly using their actual platform. Very nice website again that doesn't match how low of a market cap it is. An applied AI research lab building infrastructure for autonomous agents. Multi-agent infrastructure for orchestrating any agent from any framework on any chain. If we enter their platform, which is already up and running, which for a crypto right now is absolutely crazy, because quite frankly, from my experience in the previous 2 cycles in crypto, you see even billion-dollar cryptos with no platform, delivering no value but hypotheticals and promises. So here is a crypto that's worth $40-50 million market cap with a working application that allows AI agents to interact across different networks and is essentially a marketplace for people to actually buy into different AI agents. You can see some of the options here: content creation, lifestyle, research, finance. So we can see financial modeling as well. If you want to improve for your company the financial modeling, you can use these AI agents and get them to interact seamlessly across different networks with different actual niches as well. You can even build your own agents, which is absolutely crazy. The next crypto playing into the augmented reality and virtual reality actual niche is AUKI Labs. So you guys can see $30 million market cap, and if we load up their website, you can see helping machines to see the world. AUKI is building an external and collaborative sense of space for robotics, XR and smart cities to make the physical world accessible to AI. Oh my god, you can just imagine the potential that this has if this kind of stuff actually gets adoption in the next coming years or so. We're already seeing some big players in the AR space, augmented reality space, some of the big giants out there already investing into AUKI Labs, which goes to show me there's some serious utility and tech behind this project that we could see drive the price upwards of course, a 500 million, 1 billion. If this gets adoption and we see things like this in terms of AR and the metaverse actually get traction with robotics, we could see this go upwards of a $10+ billion market cap, which would mean accumulating something like this right now could make you quite literally stinking rich in the next few years. The next crypto, super risky, and this is the last one, $4 million market cap, is NFNT AI. And if we check out their website, essentially allows content creation using AI, making stunning videos, training custom AI models for communities, and automating workflows that saves hours using their NFNT power to create without limits. Your AI, your way, lets you train AI to reflect your brand, your art style, or your specific needs. So I actually might try this out for my community and see what I can come up with, but I think this is extremely undervalued. Now I know what you're thinking with a coin like this, you probably think it's paid promo, and they might actually be even looking for influencers to do paid promo, but I promise you guys nothing in this video is paid promo. This is purely what I'm buying right now. You can see it's had a nice healthy gain in the last year. It had a spike to 15 cents, came back down to the likes of around 4 cents, and in the last month you can see that it's flatlined quite nicely after a pullback from its highs of around 40 cents, making it a good opportunity to accumulate right now. You guys can see my trades have been killing it lately. $2,000 on SUI, 3,600 on WIF. We took a small loss recently on SUI as well, but you guys can sign up and get these trades completely free by using BITUNIX in the description below and joining our free Discord server. So that's been a wrap for this video, guys. I hope genuinely you found some useful information in this video. After my research, these are genuinely the top cryptos that I'm buying right now, without the BS and without the fluff. Make sure you join us in my free Discord community, guys. Come and hang out, trade some crypto with us, and I'll see you guys in the next videos. Peace out.